So, hey, I'm Adam.
Zach.
We're starting Goodnight Cowboy, a modern day liquor store, and we're going to talk to you about some of the trials and tribulations, highs and lows that we've gone through getting this business started.
Yep, we are.
So, I think we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, what that means for us, and what that journey's been like.
For me personally, I grew up in Connecticut, sort of in an entrepreneurial house or environment. My dad started his own business. Before I was born, it was in the contracting world. So sort of lived around that. And then my grandfather owned a screen printing business, doing everything from t-shirts to political signs to scratch off tickets for the state. So in the summertime, I spent a lot of time there.
I love a scratch off ticket.
Yeah. A lot of, I'd always be in the room scratching tickets all that I probably wasn't supposed
Did you
to.
win any?
Did not win any money or not anything significant. But I sort of grew up in that world. I guess I sort of always thought I had a passion for it, but as many people do, they sort of wander through life and try to have to figure stuff out on their own. So, I knew I always wanted to do something on my own, but I just, time and the opportunity, I just didn't really know what it was. But yeah, for me, I knew I always wanted to do my own thing. It was just a matter of when and what, and all the right pieces fitting together.
Yeah. I mean, for me growing up, I grew up, my mom pretty much was a single parent. So I saw her working. There was glimpses where she was married before and they had kind of a small business refurnishing furniture, my stepdad and my mom. But I was young and really wasn't attuned to what was happening. But I kind of just believed that I needed to go to school, that I needed to graduate school and I needed to get a job. And that was like the way that you were to make money. And I think I just got stuck in my head thinking, okay, I need to find a job, sit at a desk and make money, and I can make good money. But it's also weird because when I was a kid, I was that kid that was like selling lollipops in school. Like I would buy a bag and sell that shit for $25 or 25 cents, right? So, I mean, I had an entrepreneurial spirit, I think, or a hunger for hustling and making money. But I just kind of fell into this trap of go to school, get a job, collect a steady paycheck. And now that, our history, we used to work together at Sphere, the venue in Vegas. We helped launch it and open it and do all the branding and marketing. And I think what we saw was we were building something for somebody else, and we have the tools and the knowledge and the resources, and I think the talent and skills to be able to do that for ourselves. And so I was really excited that I got to meet you at Sphere, that we became friends, and that we had this idea of doing something when we left, which was around September of last year. And we both live in Austin.
Yep. Yeah. All through my late 30s, I sort of had this thought in the back of my head of like, you're really conditioned to go to college, get a whatever job. And there's a lot of safety in that, right? And I think really just like, especially here in America, culturally, it's really set up for that.
Well, everyone, like you're taught to have like a safety, like to feel safe.
Yeah, exactly.
And not take a risk.
Yeah. And I think that's why like parents push it and stuff because it's definitely the safe route. But I think in the back of my mind, like, these less sexy jobs or these small businesses like landscaping, window washing, whatever it is, like there's a lot of money in that. And I think it's sort of overlooked or not glorified like a lot of other jobs are. And I think, a lot of people that go to college and go down that traditional route really aren't privy to that because maybe they grew up in a household where their parents went to college and had great jobs, or careers and, are just not sort of like, in the know of how profitable or how much there is to sort of go out and make money.
You're not really taught. Things. You're not taught about creating your own business. You're taught to get a job. Right. And so like, I think that's a big miss because there's so much opportunities. To your point, there's so many businesses, and not to sound like a politician, but small businesses are the backbone of America, right? Like your dad, like you mentioned, was a small business owner, and he was able to provide for you and your family and had a good life, right? And so I think you having that background is great because for me, I know that's like something that's possible, and you've seen it and you've lived it. And I obviously have this belief that I want to do this too, and so I'm excited to do this, and I'm excited to talk about it because I think a lot of people, like we just discussed, had the mindset of let me go to school and let me get a job.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think when Adam and me talked about this too and sort of came to this realization that we wanted to do it, one of the hardest things is honestly diving off the deep end and
Yeah.
truly committing to going and doing something
That's
like
scary
this.
as fuck.
And I think that is truly the hardest part, because you are leaving behind obviously a paycheck and like a sense of security. So
Yeah. Yeah.